Hey, everyone on YouTube land, this is No Level Cap, and this week we're giving our impressions of our favorite anime of the summer 2025 season.
Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the No Level Cap podcast with all your friendly neighborhood black nerds, where we cover all the anime, all the gaming, all the nerd culture stuff with absolutely zero of the BS, with a new episode every Monday morning. I am your host, Sage Ashford. These are my co-hosts, Rakeem Beck, Devin Butts, Will Coleman, Terrence Flowers. All right, it's been enough time. Kinda. Y'all gonna have to give us a little bit of grace on this one. We're covering all the summer 2025 anime that we got a chance to check out. It's supposed to be the 3-episode rule, but we're a little early with this one. So go easy on us. For some series, there's only 2 episodes out. Some series, it's only 1 episode out. A lot of them, there are 3, though. And at least for mine, I know there are 3 episodes. We'll see. We will get into it. We're going to talk about what we like, what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we sticking with. I've actually watched a ton of shows. So I'm going to actually just let somebody else take the lead, and then I'll just jump in if I saw any of it. Devin, what'd you see, bro?
Are we just doing one by one, or you just kind of just going through them?
We'll just go one by one.
Okay. Well, first off, I'll start off with the one that I had already was quite impressed with the first season. And the second season is starting off super hot. It's Dun. Man, it's I've been trying to get people to watch this, and every time it's almost like this is like the new JoJo, because every time I try to get somebody to watch, it looks weird, this and that. I'm like, bro, just watch it, bro. And this is actually more so because there are some questionable scenes in this anime at times, like the first episode of the first season, the last episode of the first season,
yeah,
that comes into the first episode of the second season. It's some stuff, but I'm like, I promise, like, if you could just get past those few little bits, it kind of teeters the edge. It's so good. The animation has gotten even better than I feel like it was the first season. The new intro is fire. Although I think I like the OG intro a little more, but this one is still really good. Nice energy for the song, nice visuals. So yeah, it starts off hot. I mean, I think when we were previewing these the anime trailers, I mentioned something to Terrence, like, wait, like this supposed new villain. I'm like, he looks like so and so. I'm like, okay, I think I'm figuring out what's going on, and that's exactly what happened. I think it was the second episode or the end of the first episode, I think. Yeah, they're her longtime friend Gigi. He gets possessed by this spirit, and he basically turns into Urian. I told Rakeem he's basically just Urian. He's this tall, soul, athletic guy in his whitey tighties, and he's using purple energy balls, and he's putting up purple energy force. I'm like, this is Urian. But he looks so cool. This entity that has like entered him is basically like, they showed a backstory of this child that was like, I don't know, it was some rough stuff going on in this flashback. This child that was sacrificed. They were sacrificed because they thought that there was something wrong with this child or whatever. And so the child literally just got burned alive, and that spirit came back. And so every time, like, people, like, it would show a child and their family having dinner. The child would see the spirit, and then all of a sudden the parents would like kill themselves, and it just kept happening. And like the spirit himself, he didn't think anything was going on. I don't think he knew at first. Then he kind of figured out, I can kind of make people kill themselves. There's a lot going on. The humor is still there. Granny, she's still trapped inside a little cat, and she's still talking garbage and junk all the time. They're fighting this huge worm that has that kind of spirit, and you look at it, you kill yourself. It's a lot going on, but man, it's starting off so hot. I like it. I'm curious to see like how they're going to like get GG back to normal, because I mean, right now he's like, hey, bro, all you humans, you gotta go. You getting up out of here. I'm like, he ain't playing it. He's like, all you humans, you gotta go. and I guess it's kind of crazy too because he's like Gigi's like super swole. He's like this really athletic kid. So it's like this spirit just looked up and got like one of the best vessels he could even find. I'm like, wow, it's just unfortunate that you got such an athletic vessel. Now he's just walking around there doing soccer moves with these energy balls and stuff. It's man, this is probably no, this is not probably. This is definitely one of my favorite new anime. And I'm loving it. At first, I was kind of on the fence about it a little bit, but as I kept watching, it's fantastic. I remember Terrence last year. With the first season, you mentioned that they had like one of the best episodes that season.
Yeah.
There was an episode where they went to the backstory that lady, that girl with the
the daughter and the dancer.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a surprisingly really touching episode. Like that episode for me was one of the best anime episodes of the year. Like it was so well done. It
was fantastic. I don't know if they'll do. They kind of teetered the line with that, with this backstory of this child, and maybe they'll do some more stuff like that too. But it's fantastic. Like I said, just the antics going on. They had like this group of people that knew about their entity, and they were like trying to find sacrifices for this worm and stuff for the spirit, and they out here like the leader like knows karate. Even did what's the jet upper. We were watching Rakim, and then some other move. I'm like, this is like a whole Tekken scene right now. Like, what's going on here? And that character looks like the character from the island that Sanji wound up on, the leader of that. I was like, it looks kind of like that character. But yeah, it is fantastic. It's bombastic, and I'm loving it. And I can't wait for the next episode to come out so I can watch Yuri and kick some butt again, man.
How many episodes did you see? 3?
I watched all the first 3 episodes.
Okay. So that means the next episode that comes out will be a new one because the first 3 were like in a movie compilation that came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, they're doing that now where with the popularity of releasing anime movies now, they what they'll do is for certain anime they'll take like the first 3 episodes. Demon Slayer essentially was the one that made it a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, certain anime they're like really popular for the season. They'll do like a first 3 episode compilation and turn that into a movie and just release.
And then what they did with Super, essentially.
Yeah, with Goku and Frieza movie.
Yeah. Oh well.
War the Gods.
No, those were designed as films first.
Yes. Yeah.
And
you're right. And then
they worked into.
There was like the reverse of that. Okay.
Because they actually wound up adding a whole bunch of content to fill those out into full arcs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mugen Train is the one that really started it because that was the one that was like, you have to watch this in order to know what's going on in the next season. And they ended up, when that finally came out on streaming, they just separated it into like 3 or 4 episodes, how many episodes it was.
Yep.
Which was helpful if you didn't see the movie. So I'm not really mad at that.
Yeah.
I got into Dandadan recently, but I hadn't quite caught up yet, so I'm like halfway through. I am excited to get into season 2. I just got to the episode where the pink haired chick that thought she was like an angel or like a holy person or whatever, and she was gonna beat up Momo because Momo was clearly a demon. Like I just got to that.
Okay.
It's like I've said this before. It's like a combination like Fooly Cooly with all the silliness, and then like Mob Psycho, because it's really similar to Mob Psycho in the way with all the spirits and the goofy stuff happening. I freaking love this anime. It's weird, but
yeah,
a lot of anime
is out there, but it's
All right, Will. What's one of your first anime that you got into?
Well, I'll get into the one that I actually ended up watching the 3rd episode for this morning. It's called The Stunned Hero and the Assassin Princesses.
Ooh, that sounds cool as hell.
I think
you'd be surprised about what I'm about to tell you about it. So this is the thing with this show. Because I actually have a slight comparison for it. Devin, I think, watched the show I'm about to compare it to, the Osan Newbie Adventurer. It's something in the vein of that, but the main character, that guy right there, Toto, he's the shyest thing on this earth, like the most socially awkward thing to ever walk this planet. Like he can't get into any parties anytime he goes into a guild. But these 3 girls you seeing on screen, they walk in and want to have a party with him. They want to make a party. But he's so stunned by it, he don't know what to do. And yes, that happens in the first episode. He gets stunned by them doing something cute, but
oh Lord,
just in the nick of time, he does one punch and flat out kills the thing. Like, he's so strong, but he can never get in the party. But he ended up getting them. But all of them have a reason to kill him. And the little one, her dad is like the Demon King, so he sent her out to like try to stop him. But over time, like through each episode, from what I've seen, shit gets silly, but they start like kind of warming up to him in a way. They start like warming up to him, like, oh, I didn't know he was like this or this, that, and the third. They realize how strong he is, but every time they even like in episode 2, they actually made like a yeah, like on the second episode, they put like a bet between each other, like, okay, this is what we're gonna do every other day between each of us. We're gonna try to take a chance at killing him. And each time they tried, they have failed. From summoning something to kill him, using a bomb to kill him, it didn't work because it just blew his clothes off his back.
It's like assassination classroom.
Yeah, almost in a way, but it's really silly. It's really funny. And then like the blonde heroine, she tried to like seduce him, but he's so strong and he's like so dutiful in his work that he pinned her to the bed. But he was like, "I'm just gonna protect you. Don't worry about it." Then he came out of the spell, realized what he did, fainted, and I'm just like, "Oh wow, you really can't handle being around women." They weren't lying. So it's just been a really funny watch. Every time something happens, it's the running gag of him like trying to like almost fainting every time they do something, whether he gets hugged, whether they whisper in his ear, or whether they do something. He just stops. Like he blew.
Okay, so hold on. Why are they trying to kill him?
I don't know why the other two are, but the short one, the little black mage, her dad's the Demon King, and he's on his way to go get him. Toto's on the way to go have to kill him.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
So she got sent out to stop him. But the other two, I don't know their reasonings yet. They haven't got to them, but they've been getting like slight little pieces of backstory within like each episode as to why they are the way they are. It's really RPG inspired too. It slightly reminds me of Dragon Quest a little bit with some of the
slightly.
I know you see it, but I say
like,
slightly.
Is it the crown thing?
The crown.
Yeah,
it's definitely that.
All that. So yeah, it's really funny. It's a really funny fantasy show. It's not an isekai. He didn't get sent here, so it's just a straight out fantasy. So that's a plus for me. Yeah, check it out. It's silly as hell, man.
It's more just like really one of those parody fantasy adventure anime.
Yeah, it's a parody.
Like one of those. Yeah,
it's parody. Like I said, man, he uppercutted the dragon and decapitated it, bro. Like you saw that. He punched a goblin that tried to shield itself with its numerous tentacles, and it died in one punch. He killed a slime in a cave by lifting it as it tried to hold his hand, and he stuck it to the ceiling and killed it. He's so strong, but he can't get in a party with no one because no one really cares about him or likes him like that. But these women picked him up, and they starting to be like, "We kind of can't kill this son of a gun. What are we doing here?"
I bet the little demon girl, her dad's like, "What are you doing? Why is he still alive?"
Well,
I mean,
if you tried and failed, I mean, like, I give you 2 times. Once you try and fail the second time, it's like, all right, you need to leave that person alone. Whoever it is.
They have tried to kill this man 3 times in 3 episodes from drugs, seducing him, trying to blow his head off and it don't work, trying to blow him up with a bomb and it don't work, summoning the spider dragon that you saw him kill, that didn't work. And I'm just like,
yeah, once he knocked the head off the dragon, it's probably time to wrap it up.
Yeah, they didn't even think that. They were just like, we don't take turns trying to kill this man. Okay, you tried.
Attempt failed. All right, Rakeem, what you got for us, bro?
Yeah, so my first anime I'm gonna have it's gotta be Gachiakuta.
Okay.
Man,
Gachiakuta.
One of the impressions anime made on me, I would say it's one of those animes that kind of wears its influences on its sleeve, because as soon as you watch it, you get it. Like this disparity between these different cultures, like this one culture, people who live above in this I don't know even how to describe it. It's called Sphere by the people who live underground or whatever, where everything's like pristine and cleanliness and like everybody wears all white. It's like they have this culture of everything has to be clean and they
White
throw their
party.
trash underground. Exactly. And the protagonist, he's kind of like a part of like this not like a group, but like a clan or whatever that values items, where the society as a whole thinks of things as dirty and trashy and bad. He sees the value in items and things that, you know, that other people don't see, but as a result, he's looked down upon. But long story short, he comes back to like visit, I think his mentor is, was his father? I can't remember.
It's like his father figure in some way.
Father figure, yeah.
Okay, father
And he's murdered by a mysterious figure in a mask, and he tries to confront him, fails, and then he's accused of murdering his father figure, whatever. And when that happens, he goes on this trial and he's like put on, not crucified, but basically like put on this giant drop machine that drops him down to the trash world. And that's when you first see like how vicious these people are to anybody that think is like a trash or a detriment to society. If you do anything wrong, you're considered the same thing as trash. Like if you are a spot on this culture, you are trash. We're gonna drop you like trash and get you out of our society. And as a result, he's dropped down into this world in this trash area where all the trash goes. That people actually live there, and also creatures live there. The creatures who are like made of the trash that eat the humans or whatever down there. And he encounters one when he first gets there. He's saved by a gentleman who has like who's from there, who has powers to manipulate objects and give them life. So the gimmick with the power system is that there are people who can give inanimate objects like power, like give them the ability to be enhanced, and they manipulate them. Like this guy has a bow, not bow, but umbrella that he enhances. Then the protagonist, he's trying to figure things out because he doesn't understand what's going on in this other society. Like he was treated like crap by the clean society because of who he was. And now he's dropped down here with the trash society, and they just think he from up there. So they treat him like shit too. So since they find out he's up there, there's like a group of people who try to like sell him off because he's valued, and like you see the anger and the hatred they have towards people who live above and drop their trash on them. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It shows he's a very really on the nose way of showing like social disparity between classes.
Yeah,
it's really on the nose.
So.
Like, they are not hiding this. These things, if you can't figure this theme out, your media literacy is zero. So yeah, I really liked it. The protagonist, Rudo, he's very abrasive, very don't give a fuck. But basically, like he's the in between of like both of these cultures, because he's looked down upon by both of them. He looked down upon by the rich, clean society because he wasn't rich and clean enough, and he's looked down by the dirty trash society because he's from the rich, clean society. So neither one really accepts him, and then he just stops giving a fuck. But basically, at the moment, the episode I'm on, he was about to get sold off, and who knows what was going to happen to him.
Jesus.
Well, they said they were going to torture him or do some stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
They were like people from the Spear, like, hey, they go for a high price, so
yeah, the dude who saved him originally, he saves him again. He said, I left you with those guys for moments so you can see how this society works. Like, this is what it's like down here, but I want you to come work for me. At the end of the second episode, I think, the protagonist develops the same powers that give you powers to inanimate objects. He has like a chain that he powers up. It was really cool. Yeah, animation is also pretty cool. What you about to say, Terrence?
Oh, I'll just say he could do multiple objects. He did that and multiple the tire.
Yeah, the tire. He sure did. He did. That tire was cool, like Junkrat or something from Overwatch. Yeah, but yeah, it was really cool. Animation was dope. Fight scenes are dope. Concept I like, but I will say this: this is not an anime for the faint of heart. The dude bit off a dude's fingers. It's very visceral. There's trash everywhere. At one point, they fed that dude trash from the ground in his mouth, like slowly to like fuck with him, and then he just ate it. He like, shit, I gotta survive.
I like
but yeah, it's really cool, but it's also like it's really dark too. Like, it has a very dark overtone. I remember our roommate Tyler, he was watching with me. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch some comedy or something after this." It's too dark. I can't watch this.
I don't know. I guess maybe my meter for like darkness is like maybe my threshold is higher, but like it's not that dark where I feel like you need a palate cleanser per se after it. I put it this way: there's another anime this season that is far darker than that. That you probably would need a palate cleanser for that, but this I feel like
ain't like the summer Hikaru. It ain't like the summer Hikaru died or nothing like that.
Yeah, it's not like that.
No.
I already know what anime Terrence is talking about.
Takopi. Was that
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the name? Yeah, Takopi.
I've been told about this anime.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get to that one. I forgot to get to that.
I hadn't watched the second episode because that is one of the ones that I wanted to bring up, but I've only seen the first episode, so I can't really go into too much detail. But yeah, that one it's very interesting. I'll put it that way.
Terrence, what is your first choice?
Okay, so since Rakeem did Gachiakuta, I'll do another one.
King Kuta.
This one, King Kuta. Yeah, that's what it sounded like I was saying, King Kuta. This one I watched this morning, and I watched it just because I was like, look, this is from the creator of Nichijou.
I wanted to watch this.
Yeah, this is a City to Animation. And boy, what an animation it is. Like, I'm curious what the trailer you pull up, what it's going to look like. Man, let me just first off say that Kyoto Animation, they fucking killed it with this. Like, it looks so good. Like, this looks like a comic book or manga come to life with like the hard lines. Like, you can see it for yourself on the screen. Like the work that like the way the water is like beating up on the skin and the clothes. It looks so good. It's like one of the most impressive like animated shows that I've seen. Like, it's really cool how they did it. But much like Nichijou, this is pretty much just a slice of life comedy style show where it's about a city and its inhabitants. In this case, this show, it follows multiple characters, but the three main ones, to my understanding, they all go to college. One of them is a sophomore, one is a freshman, and the other, I don't know where she ranks, but they're all like late teenagers, early 20s, so like 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever. But yeah, it's just about the city and the life of the citizens in it. So there's like multiple stories going on in it. It's kind of like it's essentially like a comic strip. You know how a comic strip has like one little plot line, and that's pretty much it. Kind of like what you see in a newspaper. That's pretty much what this is. Where
it's like a gag manga.
Yeah, essentially like that. So it's like they do like 5-minute segments with a couple of characters, then they go on to another set of characters for like 5 minutes, et cetera, et cetera. So I like it. It's pretty funny. If you like Nichijou, I think you will like this. I mean, it's by the same creator, same studio, because Kyoto Animation did Nichijou as well. It's like they took Nichijou and just put it on steroids. That's what this feels like to me, at least from an animation perspective, because it looks like everything that Kyoto Annie has learned over like the past, like, when was Nichijou done? Like early 2010s?
Ooh, I think so. Yeah.
Pretty much everything that they've learned since then, it feels like they incorporated into this, and it looks so good. So if anything, I'd recommend a lot of people just check it out for the first episode alone. Even if it's not your cup of tea, like the comedy, the slice of life aspect, that's fine. I'd say just check it out to see how gorgeous this looks. But yeah.
You can tell they're taking advantage of the artist's like simplistic art style to just like adapt it as well as they possibly can.
This look cool as hell.
It really does look cool as fuck. That like the trailer alone kind of sold me on checking it out. I was like, all right,
I'm sold on it now. I really got to sit with this because I love Nichijou.
It reminds me of the funny papers, as we used to call it back in the day.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Is like the newspaper.
Yeah, I knew what you were talking about, like Garfield and
Dilbert.
what's the Hobbs and
Garfield.
Garfield, Dilbert,
whatever.
Right?
Yeah,
Dilbert,
Hobbs
but I mean Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Hobbes.
Calvin
Yeah,
and Hobbes.
yeah.
Man.
I was almost thinking
Tooth
Chatty
Fairy
Cathy.
and shit.
Speaking of that old head moment for a second, y'all remember when we were kids and like you wait for your parents to finish reading the paper and so you could read the comics?
Yeah, I do.
I miss that so much.
Yep, I do remember that.
I used to.
I do remember that.
My dad had that paper on the couch. I couldn't wait till he got done to read them funny papers, bro. I couldn't wait.
Should you hand a newspaper to kids nowadays? Be like, what the fuck is this?
Get the Gen Z stare. Get the Gen Z stare.
He can't read it through the. He can't read it through his shiesty anyway.
Oh man, I had meant to see New Saga. I need to check that out.
Yeah, so this is my first pick. There are 3 episodes out. I think the 4th episode comes out in a couple of days. It's let's see if I can find a good trailer first.
Okay.
Oh, where's the
That's a fish trailer right there. Triple.
Oh hell, I guess
the
not,
opening.
huh?
That's the full song.
I wanted to just do the opening. Is this it? Yeah, I think this
That would be
Non-credit
right,
opening.
Yeah. So, Gachiakuta New Saga. It's about this guy named Kyle who goes to like. It opens up with him doing his final fight against the Demon King or whatever, like the person that basically has made a wreck of society. And so you see him and his party, and they're like rushing in, fighting these demons, and like they just narrowly get the victory. Like he's losing allies one by one as they basically go like suicide against the enemy because they're like all that matters now is that we get the W. And so like the protagonist, he goes in, fights the Demon King, and he also has to suicide himself. But in the last moment, like there's this gem called the Dragon Heart. Like it's like I guess like a gem version of a literal dragon heart. And the energy from it like explodes. And when it explodes, it takes him with it, and he winds up going back to the past. And so now he goes back, I think 5 years into the past. It's like before any of the demons showed up, before they started wrecking shit. And so he's like, okay, at first he's like unsure what's going on. Then once he figures out what's going on, the first thing he does, which is what I would do, is he writes down literally everything he can remember about the attacks. And he's like, okay, how can I like twist this and make it so that I don't lose anybody? And so that's a cool premise. It should be better than it is. Let me put it like that. It's fine for what it is, but it's like, man, there's still so much of that stereotypical. Like he's already got 2 chicks, you know. He's got his childhood friend, and then he's got his wife. Now the cool thing is they're playing with the time thing because it's like his childhood friend in the old timeline, she died. Like they never got to develop any kind of relationship. She just died in the initial attack. And so now he's like, all right, well, I got to keep you alive. And then while he's out, he just happens to see this elf chick. And he's like, wait a minute, I married you. Like that was the woman he wound up falling in love with in the first timeline. And so he goes up to her and speaks to her. And of course she doesn't know him, but he makes the mistake of calling her by her real name, like her true name. And it's like one of those societies where like you've got like a name that you give everybody, and then you got your actual name that's given to only the people you're closest to. And so he calls her by her real name, and she's like, how the fuck do you know that? And so she starts following him because of that. And so now he's got like this little mini harem. Now, the only cool thing about that is that none of them trust him. Like the childhood friend trusts him, but she's like, it's something weird about you. His male best friend is also like, hey man, you used to be kind of a goof off. Like, why are you so serious now? Like, you was about that silly shit. Like, what's going on? And then of course the elf chick who doesn't know him at all, she just is trying to figure out like, why do you know my real name? Like, they're all like kind of mistrusting him, and he's manipulating things to work out. Like, one of the cool things I liked about it was there's this part where he's supposed to be, you're supposed to go get this sword, and you have to go through all this, like go through this dangerous dungeon filled with traps and all these tricks and all this shit, like dangerous enemies, and you get to the end and you get this powerful sword. And he was like, I'm not doing none of that. The elf chick, she has like elemental powers, and so he's like, all right, look, I'm gonna have you use earth elemental to just help us dig a tunnel. And so they just literally dig all the way underneath the dungeon till they get to where the sword is, break in, and he's like, all right, look, give me the sword. And then the sword happens to have also a clone of like this the queen that made that sword from like a magical kingdom from back in the day. And the sword is also like, but the sword, the one trick with the sword that I liked was that the chick inside the sword is finally like, hey, who are you? How'd you get here? Like, there are traps and like you did all this bullshit. Like, what's going on? And he was like, don't worry about it. As soon as I pull the sword out, you'll know. He pulls the sword out and she reads his mind and she instantly gets like the same future knowledge that he has. And it's like, okay, cool. But even still, there's just this vibe of being generic to it. Of where I'm like, man, I really want this to be more like the characters. They're nothing that you haven't seen before. The protagonist, he's kind of interesting. Just in that he's trying to prevent like the something horrible, but it's still just too. I'm waiting for that level where it steps up and becomes something that you can get from that you couldn't get from anywhere else, and it's not there yet. The only reason I'm sticking with it instead of dropping it is because I've also read ahead, not the manga, but I like checked out the TV tropes page. And the TV tropes page lets me know that there are some things coming, some events that are going to shift and change around him, where like the protagonist is like, oh, I thought it was this way, and I thought this was the reason that this happened. And it's like, no. It was some shit going on behind the scenes. You had no clue. You didn't know nothing about. And so you're going to have to make some decisions. And the way the TV tropes page, that's the sword princess, by the way.
Okay.
The chick inside the sword. And so like there are going to be some decisions that he's going to have to make to change timeline for the better, and they're not always going to be like good guy decisions.
Right.
So,
interesting.
I'm very curious to see how that pans out. My biggest problem, aside from it taking too long to get to that, because we are on episode 3 already. My biggest problem is that I'm like, are we gonna get a chance to finish this storyline? Because as it stands now, we're 3 episodes into a 13 episode show, and I know that this would probably take 36, 48 episodes. So I'm like, all right, well. Am I gonna get it all, or am I gonna be like, cock blocked out of it? I don't know. We'll see. But it's a good time waster for now. Like if it gets, I assume it's gonna start leveling up because he finally got to a part where he's like, oh, I gotta go save this princess who died mysteriously, and the TV tropes page told me actually how she died, and I was like, oh, well, that's gonna be interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing how much of that story they tell. So, with that being said, Will, what's your second one?
My second one, well, y'all did mention it earlier. I decided to give it a shot because I'm just like, because another streamer I know, she started watching it. She said not enough of y'all are talking about this, so I guess I'll talk about it. The summer Hikaru died.
Oh.
Okay, so I started, like I said, I've told this numerous times, but Amazon always recommended me this manga. And apparently it was listed under Boys Love, and I'm just like, I don't know about that, but let me look it up. Come to find out, it was a one shot to do Boys Love, but then Arthur came and took it out and switched their stance on it and said it was kind of be like a general kind of slice of life with slight horror elements and slight queer elements. Don't quote me on that. That's what they said.
That makes way more sense now. I think about the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
That makes. Thank you for the context.
Yeah, that's what it was. So as I sat down and watched the first episode, the way it starts off is these people are looking for Hikaru in this mountainside, and they can't seem to find him. But he's like slowly dying. He's been mortally wounded on this thing. Like he's about to basically, for lack of a better word, he's about to die in the silent snow up on this mountain. So he's fading away, but something's crawling towards him, and he's pleading for someone to find him, and he asks for this god. Nonuki-sama. He's just like, Nonuki-sama, someone please help me. And then it fast forwards after Nonuki-sama or whatever this thing may be takes him. And he's living life normally with his friend Yoshiki. That's Yoshiki on the screen right there, and that's Hikaru, as you can see, the white-haired kid. But he's living his life normally with Yoshiki. Everything is fine, but he keeps saying things wrong. I noticed it in the subtitles because they would put it in quotation marks. Where they just like, oh, he's saying this thing wrong. Like, how is he saying something wrong? Like, what is that? But then along the way, as they continue talking, Yoshiki says, you went missing for a week. And it's been months since that incident. And something don't feel right here, but I have to ask you, are you really Hikaru? And then right in that moment, he breaks down. I just saw that thumbnail. He breaks down, and the freaky thing starts coming out the side of his face, and he tells him straight up, I'm sorry, bro. This is my first time out here in real life in a human body. I I'm enjoying life. I'm going to school. I get to eat ice cream. I get to hang out with you. I really, really like you. I don't want to go back to that. So he's literally just a walking entity, as I'm describing the scene right now is happening in front of us. He's like, he's just like, keep it a secret. And now his friend Yoshi is like, I know it's not him, but I need him to stay. He's like, I need him to stay. I want him here. I can't tell what's happening, but I need him here. So now after that, you're just kind of going through the motions of how he's navigating, dealing with the fact that he has his friend here, but it's not necessarily his friend sitting in front of him now. But it's something more sinister going on, as this Nonoki-sama thing is something that was held up in the mountains, and people around them know this. Certain people around them know that this thing is evil. But there's also the case of him being this evil unknown something. He actually ends up killing someone off by the end of the first episode.
Oh shit!
They did it. They did it smooth too. Ooh,
yeah,
they did it smooth.
Bro. They
I'm
did
already
it
inside.
Thank you, Devin. That's literally what he said.
I'm already
that
inside,
old woman.
girl.
He was like, I'm already in this house. She turned around, and before you know it, you see a red light on screen, and it transitions into polices and ambulances in front of this woman's house.
Man.
And I was just like, good God. And I watched the second episode. Now they got a special investigator pulling up to try to see what's going on. It's a lot. And one of my favorite parts in the second episode was when Yoshiki went to the store. It's kind of like displaying like this level of anxiety that he's having through his body, but I think it's also his interactions with this fake Hikaru. As this woman is talking to him about everything around him is like affecting him, from the beat from the scanner, the sound of the speakers when someone's walking in, the stuff going in the cart. He's just having like this huge moment where he's hearing her talk, but it's not like sticking with him. He's just like, it's like he's having an anxiety attack while going to the store. And I thought that was so cool how they did that. And the animation for this show, amazing. OST,
it's ridiculous good.
Cool. It's ridiculous. Like, I know it's not a lot of people's tea. I'll say that now. I know it's not a lot of people's cup of tea, but I will say, sit down with the first episode and take this show in. It's very different, very interesting. It has like those elements, those LGBTQ elements within the show, but it also has like slight horror twists, but it also tries to keep it within the slice of life realm. Like it's combining those three into like this, not a mess even. I say it's combining into like this thing. I can't describe it, but so
Slice
far
of
I'm
horror.
into it.
Slice of horror.
Yeah.
Slice of horror. Like it's a slight slice of horror. I'll take it like that.
Slice of death.
The horror of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would recommend it, and I'm gonna stick with it because I want to see what happens going forward. Like, I'm enjoying the interactions between Hikaru and Yoshiki because it's showing how he's like, this is my friend, but then he's having to remember this is some entity that I don't know what it is, but he looked like him, but he ain't him. So I want to see how this really goes by episode 3, because I think episode 3 comes out tomorrow. What's up, King?
Oh man, I love how you described it, because like it is a slice of life. Because how you would think this goes is this tension all the time.
Yeah.
First episode, exactly. It is not the case. It's like the happiest anime in the world because the creature is like a child. It's like interacting with everything. It's super happy. It's like figuring stuff out. Oh man, this is how food actually tastes. You know, I have this kid's memories, but I never experienced these things and like experience. Like it's like if you had an alien came down and you were walking like E.T. or something, and it was interacting with things, and it seems so fucking innocent. But its relationship with Hikaru is like, with Yoshiki, it's like, kind of, it's not tsundere.
No, it's
not
more
tsundere. What's the right course?
I think,
but like a femme fatale, kind of almost like he wants to be with him so much.
Yandere.
He wants to be with him so much, and he doesn't want anything that risks him being found out has to go, so he can have a relationship with Yoshiki. That's pretty much how it works. And you're right. They do a great job with Yoshiki in this. His fear that he's hiding from the creature. Like he's in his room and he's paralyzed with fear. He's not sleeping. He's in his room folded up. Like like he ain't eating his food. Like you could tell it's actually bothering him. But when he's interacting with the creature the creature doesn't tell that. He's acting normal.
Right.
Not let the creature scared. But it's understandable why he'd be like that.
That's what's up. I'm glad somebody wound up checking out something like that. We need more like different genres because I know a lot of us we tend to stick to like the battle type shows or like maybe like a comedy battle series or something like that. Slice of horror sounds fucking terrifying.
Slice of horror. Yeah.
It's not my type of shit, but I do like having like that variety on the show. Rakeem, what's your second pick?
So you talked about how Sage, you had an anime that you were watching. It was like this should be better because the concept is fire, but the execution isn't there. But you still want to see where it's going. I have a similar show, the one called Onmyo Kaiten Rebirth Verse.
Oh, actually, did you have how much of it have you seen?
Yeah, I was watching this, and it's got a lot of things going on. It's like got isekai elements.
Yeah,
it feels like it's like a time change thing, maybe some ReZero stuff.
I just watched the second and third episode today.
I was like, and it's got mecha stuff, and then like
there's a lot
the isekai has like he's sent to a place that's like futuristic and stylized like traditional, like ancient Japan,
ancient imperial Japan.
Yeah, I'm like, this is cool as fuck. But when I watch him, like something ain't right. I don't know. It's like this is like really cool concept, really unique concept. So yeah, like the protagonist of this anime, he's having these dreams of interacting with this young lady, this character right here, and then eventually, like in the first episode, he dodged Truck-kun. I forgot why. Was he trying to save someone or?
I think so.
He did.
Well, he dodged him, but I mean, it just got him killed in a different way.
He fell off into a forest. He wakes up and sees the woman he's been dreaming about, who turned out to be like a performer. During the middle of one of her performances, like she's a dancer, and then he's like confused because in his dreams he's met her so many times that he assumed she would know who he is, and she's like, I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't know what the hell is going on. And so he's like interacting with this new world, and he doesn't know, like, am I in the past? But no, they got like phones and tech, and like what the fuck is this? And not only that, they have this thing going on where like these what's it like dark mist envelops the area. Yeah. And they basically like this like mist comes up, these creatures come in the mist, and if you don't get out of that mist, you get turned into like a carbonated crystal, and then monsters show up and they just kill you. Yep. And after that they destroy the area. And so they have these guys who are part of a group that gets inside these mechs, Pacific Rim style. We got like a pilot and a co-pilot. And even the mechs are different. They seem kind of mystical. They have like this doll.
They're like
the design of it's a little weird.
Karakuri.
What's that? Yeah, it is kind of like, it's very much like Karakuri, like the ancient type of design.
There it is. Right there.
And the protagonist, as he's interacting with it in the first episode, he ends up dying, protecting the girl he met, and he resurrects again. And I'm like, oh, is this like ReZero? Oh, this is cool. But after that, once he resurrects again, the same thing happens. And like he's at that same position. He meets the girl again. She does not remember who he is, but now he knows more about what's going to happen. And now that he has more information, I have the knowledge of when stuff's going to happen now. Let me see if I can get the power to fight these things, and get training and haphazardly a little bit. It basically was like they were trying to arrest the dude. They thought he was like a pervert or a criminal or something. They didn't believe him. And it just so happened that he was able to fight those creatures dolo, which is weird. He had no interaction with the powers at first and just threw hands. Yep. And they fight these things in mix. So that was crazy. And then eventually, like, all right, you got something going on here. So the organization takes him in. He learns about the power system. They have like these objects on their hands that allow them to channel like spirit energy, and they have like a pilot system. And And generally, there's people in the organization who don't really still trust him because he just came out of fucking nowhere. But he's obsessed with the mission of saving this girl he's had this dream about because she's gonna die if he doesn't. And he's like one of them dudes who's like, I fuck what y'all talking about. I know what's going on. I'm gonna save her. Whatever y'all want to do is cool, but I'm gonna save her. But yeah, the premise of this is cool as fuck because it's got a lot of different things going on. It does have tropey moments, like the protagonist is very much the, I gotta do it.
He's a hot-headed delinquent.
Hot-headed delinquent. You got some of the tropes like, falling on the girls' chests and they excited. You got the mentor dude who's also kind of in love with the girl and like trying to guide her. So it's a little tropey, but the concept is so cool. I'm just watching because I like the concept. It's like doing so many different things differently. So
what episode are you on?
I watched all 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So I watched first 3. I'm just waiting on I do want to see where it goes from here.
I mean, the 3rd episode ended in like a really cool way. Like,
that's true.
It ended on like this really cool cliffhanger because he avoids the future that he was trying to avoid. But
Correct.
then like now, you out of future knowledge because like
that's true.
He's gone ahead and averted that future, but he hasn't gone back home yet. He doesn't know how to get back home. And now he's got some other problem that I won't spoil that he's just like, okay, well, I don't know how we're going to deal with this. So
that's true. So one thing I did mess up on when I first watched the first 2 episodes, I didn't realize there's like a during credit section that like a part of the episode. Because I was getting to the next episode, I was like, I feel like I missed something.
I need to go back and watch.
And then I got to the 3rd episode, I'm like, oh, they keep going during the credits.
Yeah.
That was one of those.
That's why I was like missing stuff. I feel like I missed like a portion of the episode. I was. That's what was going on.
I need to go back and watch because I missed the correct. I only noticed it on the 3rd episode because I was looking and I was like, man, it's a lot of time left in this one. That must be like a post-credit scene, so I just skipped ahead because I watched both episodes right before the podcast, and so I was like, all right, well, what's at the end of this? And I was like, oh, that's what's at the end of this. So very cool. I like the cast of this one. I've of the isekai anime that are out right now, and there are a lot of them this season. This is definitely my favorite. I am enjoying this. It is, like Rakeem said, incredibly tropey. This was actually one of my picks too. That I was just like, oh man. I was surprised. I was like, oh, David Production, which is like, responsible for Fire Force and JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, y'all doing an original show and an isekai at that. So let's see what they're talking about. And it is refreshing in its own way because while it's tropey for action shows, but it's not tropey for isekai shows.
It is not. That's true.
Like this ain't no, I got a harem of hoes around me. Ain't none of that. It ain't no, oh, I'm OP. I can beat everybody by just like glancing at them, and then they just automatically fall over and die. None of that. Like he got to get it out the mud, and he don't know like nothing about how this world works. In the first episode, he was like, I ain't got no money, like because I mean, obviously you in a new world,
money don't work.
Your money don't work. In the second episode, he was like, actually, I'm homeless. I need a place to stay.
Honestly, this just sounds like a lighter ReZero to an extent.
Yes. But I mean, like, as far as I know, he's not going to die again. Like, if he dies again, then I would say yes, ReZero.
So that's why I was going to ask, because I know you mentioned him dying, so that was only just a one-time thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I can't say if he dies in the first episode with Truck-kun. He, like, grabs that little, you see the girl is holding, like, a little animal, like, mystical animal. He basically saves that animal, and then the next thing you know, like, he's falling into, like, the forest from, like, a height that would have killed him, but I don't know if that creature just teleported him over to the other world or not. I think that's what happened. And then in a second, at the end of the first episode, he does die and come back to life. But that's it. That's the only time he's died after that.
Okay.
And so,
since you mentioned ReZero, Rakim, I was thinking like, oh, does he just like keep dying? But that hasn't been explained.
That's why
yet.
I thought. So that was the thing where it kind of subverted my expectations.
Okay,
and that's kind of what it was doing. Like the settings was subverted because usually you're in a fantasy setting. This was like the future mixed with the past, like setting wise a little bit, like aesthetically. And then
that's
like,
another thing.
You thought it'd be like you thought it'd be like ReZero. He fixed the future, but it also has like this mecha thing going on. Like they have like these Karakuri type mechs with 2 pilots, like Pacific Rim. You gotta have 2 pilots, and it's like VR. Like they get a fucking VR headset and they project into the mechs. That was a lot going on in this anime, bro. It was a lot going on.
The only thing I'll say that I'm like, you could have probably done without. I hate to say it, but it's almost like the isekai element is not necessary yet. Like I mean, like the show's not done, so they may explain more where it stands now. I'm like, this man could have just been from this world and just had dreams about this girl over and over again, and it would have played out exactly the same until they add some element to it and then they did kind of hint at that because like they asked that, like the main character Takeru, he's like, hey man, where'd these monsters come from? And they just like, we don't know. They come from another world and they show up and they consume stuff here and then they leave. And then that's all you know. And so it's like, huh. And his powers, like his special power, the ability to fight against the Oni, it's very similar to the Oni. And so we don't know, like, there may be an explanation for like why he needed to be an isekai character. So who knows? But yeah, I mean, this is a great pick, Rakeem. I'm definitely sticking with this show. More so than just about every other show I'm watching right now. Terrence, what's your second pick?
All right, so the second anime that I watched is New Panty and Stocking, which it's back and it's more wild than ever. And I will say this, they don't just gloss over how the first season ended. They actually address it, and the first episode is entirely dedicated to fixing that. So yeah, it is back like it never left. I mean, it looks the same except like, well, it's higher quality because they show, funny enough, they show clips of the first season in the show, and you can see like, oh yeah, they got a res bump because the original the first season, I forgot when it was like the early 2010s, something like that, maybe even a little before that, because yeah, Gainax was still a thing at that time. Yeah, it's been, I want to say at least a decade or so since this show.
2010.
Okay, so it was 2010. Okay, so
15 years.
Yeah, 15 years, which is crazy.
15 years.
Yeah, it's been 15 years since this show went off the air. And I think the main reason was just due to rights. Since Gainax had the rights, Trigger couldn't just instantly get it and do it. They had to wait until they were able to, I guess, buy the rights back or however that worked. But I explained how this show is in a previous episode, but just to quickly go over that, the best way to describe it is it's essentially like an old school Nickelodeon cartoon, kind of like Invader Zim. Like it's like the art style of Invader Zim meets the lewdness and craziness of like South Park meets anime. It's wild. There's no other way for me to describe it. Each episode is like 2 episodes in one, so it's like a cartoon in that regards, where you have like the 12-minute segment that's like its own little self-contained thing, and another
SpongeBob.
12 like SpongeBob, something like SpongeBob or Fairly Odd Parents. In the first episode, it's just one big episode because they're essentially just addressing how the first season ended, and then by the time they get onto the second episode, that's when it goes back to its normal 2-episode structure, 2 mini-episode structure. The second episode, it has them addressing the fact that they caused so much damage to the city that they need to pay people back to restore the city. That's a funny part of it. And one way they go about it is they find this rare card, and they literally do a Yu-Gi-Oh! / Magic the Gathering parody in the second episode. And it's hilarious. Like they have a card that's called the Blue Eyes White Uncle, I believe that's what it's called.
Yeah, we just saw a thumbnail with that.
Saw it.
Yeah, the Blue Eyes White Uncle, where they that card is worth like a whole bunch of money, and so the main character Panty, she has to duel one of the ghouls, what they call like demons in the show. They call them ghouls, ghosts, whatever. She has to duel him to try and get the card. It's just a lot of wacky shenanigans with this show. It is by no means like safe for work or one of those typical. I mean, a lot of anime aren't really safe for work, and when I bring it up, but this one more so. Like this one is straight up like a Family Guy, like a South Park, like any of those like out of pocket cartoons. This is pretty much like that, except it's just an anime. But it's a really fun time. Like I'd recommend, if any of that sounds remotely interesting to you, I recommend checking it out. If you hadn't seen the first season, then watch that, of course, and then watch this. But it's really cool to see this come back so many years later. We're really at the point in the anime industry where hey, a show could have been gone for a long time, and they're just bringing everything back. At this point, they're remaking everything that pretty much everything that isn't No Game, No Life is coming back.
I think there's a reason why that's not coming back. There's some kind of rights or like, was it taxes? I forget. It was some reason why that shit not coming back. I looked into it because I was like, damn, everything else come back. Like, why can't No Game, No Life come back? Like, there's a reason for it.
Taxes,
but yeah,
I don't lie, it could be that for real.
Hey man, just give it to give it to Ufotable. They dodge taxes, so they'll be okay.
They know about dodging taxes. Yeah,
they sure know about that.
All right, Devin, what's your second pick, bro?
Second pick. This is one that I believe I chose this as the one I was interested in when we did our little summer anime. It's Tougen Anki.
Okay.
I'm glad somebody watched that.
That was on my list.
I also watched.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody watched it.
I was a little confused at first because from the trailer I thought that he was fighting Oni. He just had like Oni blood, but he was like going to be fighting Oni or something. And I was like, oh, he just has Oni blood in him, and that organization or they're trying to kill them. I'm like, oh, I totally had the concept of this show backwards. But the main protagonist, his name is Shiki. He's it starts off. He's in his room. He got the whole Call of Duty loadout in his room. I'm like, sir, why do you have this many guns as a teenager? Like, how did you acquire all this?
Japan, like, what's going on?
Like, and then that makes it kind of shows when I remember I mentioned when his I'm like, look, got some bloodbending with like an AK. I'm like, oh, I guess that's why, because he's just a fan of guns. I guess he's like, well,
yep,
I'll just turn mine into Glocks and stuff. His father come in like, man, boy, what you doing, man? Man, what's all these guns and stuff? He just like chewing them out. And then Rakeem find this fun. I did too. He's like, and he's thinking like, you think he's like, oh, he's like I don't know, he's like a master or some dojo. He do something like, no, he sell liquor. I'm like, well, I don't know if you can really get mad at your son for having guns, because like, a lot of time in the hood, you see a gun store, you see a liquor store. So I mean, it looks like y'all just got a good business going on here, I guess. But yeah, it's an interesting show. Things kind of heat up because this guy comes out of nowhere. His father knows. He's just up in his room. He gets pulled down by some entity. He's like, man, what's going on? All of a sudden, his father pull up in the whip, like, hey man, get in, bro. Like, get in. He's like, man, get in the car, bro. So apparently that guy is from that organization called Momotaru, the Oni hunting organization. And he kind of gives him just a little spiel. Unfortunately, later, soon after, his father actually gets killed by that guy. And I know Rakeem had mentioned this before. The guy that pulls up on the rollerblades, just like no nonsense. He's like, hey man, either you get it done, you get out. That's only, ain't no other option. He shows up. He goes to like this little academy. And it's like right here in the trailer showing like all the kids that had like Onis, and they're like training at this school.
Oh man, not the TikTok dances.
They got the TikTok dances.
They TikToked out.
They TikTok.
It's funny. He shows up like that day, like because they have horns. They can manifest like these black horns, like basically showing like their Oni blood. And there was one guy in the class. I guess he walks in. I think it's this guy with the mask on. He's like, hey, you ain't got no horns. He's like, who you talking to, Scrub? I'm like, I don't think you should just walk in there your first day talking to these people that you don't know.
That kid, Shiki, is dumb. He dumb as hell because like he was told, and before he went into that classroom, he was like, "Look, I'm gonna just let you know, you the weakest one in the classroom, bro.
Yeah,
just go in there and learn some shit, and maybe we can use you." And he walked in there and was like, "Hey, you got the horns out? You ain't got no horns out? Why you got your horns out?" I was like, because anybody can just put those away when you want. Like, why can't you do that?
You could tell he's a delinquent too, because before he even got in classroom, he was like, "Should I go in there and assert dominance, kick the door down, let me know I'm that guy?"
Yeah,
I will say he is hilarious in that respect. He is not like a bashful or quiet person. He is very loud, very brash, and very confident.
Bro, on the roller skate said, man, fuck that intro, get your ass in there.
Roller skate, my favorite character. That dude is hilarious.
It's
Wow.
like I said, when I watched the trailer, I didn't think it would have. It has a bit of silliness and goofiness to it. Even though it's like it's pretty dark. It's you know, I mean, just what's going on. But it's got some fun elements to it. And again, the protagonist, I didn't think he was gonna be. I thought he was gonna be like more of just a serious, like, hey man, I'm trying to get, you know, he is not that. Like they just mentioned, Keeman Sage just say he is like a delinquent. He think he's that guy, and he's unfortunately not quite that guy. But and again, like I said, he chooses to meld his blood into like guns, and I'm like, oh, it makes sense now because I guess he plays a lot of COD, and he's probably waiting on Grand Theft Auto 6 as he was sitting in his room. But yeah, I'm actually, yeah. I like where this is going so far. I'm ready to see more. I don't know if this will be like one of those things where it's like Black Clover, where he's like not quite that dude at first, but you know, and Naruto as well. Like, but later on, he becomes like, oh well, you had this so and so Oni blood, so you're actually like the chosen Oni or whatever. I don't know. I could see it taking that route a little bit, but I like what I'm seeing so far. I kind of like the style of it. Like even the students, they're like outfits. It kind of puts me in the mindset of I want to say maybe Fire Force, like how they always have like the same outfit. Everybody's like in unison with the clothes they wear. But yeah, this one, like I said, this is why I chose this one the last time. It just looked interesting to me. And with this protagonist, I'm definitely ready to see some more of his shenanigans because as you see again, he got the Glock on him. So he's like it. You know, if this blood only gun don't work, I got a real one on me. So
I will say it's interesting how this anime season we've got the two big punk anime, because this and Gachiakuta, they feels like they have that similar vibe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This one isn't nearly as dark as Gachiakuta. From what I've seen.
No.
I don't mean like literally like plot wise, but more so like
no. I know what
like
you were talking about. I'm just saying that to me is the big difference. Like even though this has dark elements to it, it's not nearly as dark from what I've seen of Gachiakuta. Like this, like the protagonist, he eat garbage and being told, "Oh, look, we finna sell you to somebody that's gonna torture the hell out you." I mean, like he went through some shit. He goes through the typical regular, like, hey man, show the protagonist like your dad dead, go get your revenge, bro. Figure it out.
Yeah.
This is also one of mine. I watched the second episode this morning. I had a lot of fun. I read a couple chapters of the manga just to see what it was like, and I'm enjoying myself. It is very stereotypical battle shonen.
Yep.
We'll see where it goes, what kind of changes is going to be made. Like Devin probably called it. There's got to be a reason because like his dad was part of the other agency. Like his dad is a Momotaro, and that was like they eventually just tracked him down and was like, hey man, you a Momotaro and you took this Oni, like you should have known what was gonna happen. And so that's why his dad dies. And it's like, well, why would you take this Oni? Like, what happened here? Because it didn't, like, it's clearly his adopted kid, but like, why did he take that kid? Like, what happened? So I assume we'll find that out. It doesn't seem like they're going down the route of like, you know, Ichigo, where it's like, oh yeah, you've got both powers. You're the son of a Oni and a Momotaro. It don't seem like they're going down that route. They may, who knows? We'll find out. But I like what I've seen so far. I like the cast. Dude on the roller skates is quite funny, actually.
Man, he was hilarious. Oh my god.
He just showed up and was just like, hey man, your dad did. It's time to get over, buddy. Like, look, we got work to do, and if you don't get the work done, I'm kicking you the fuck out. Just letting you know. Or actually, I'm probably gonna kill you. Because, like, we can't have no berserk Oni out here. That's what caused all these problems in the first place. Oni that can't control themselves. So, if you can't control your shit, I'm getting you up out of here. So, I like this show. I had a lot of fun with it. We running low on time. So, everybody's done 2 except me. Because, actually, Keem took Onmyo Kaiten. And Devin took Tougen Anki. So, I got one more I'll do, and then after that we can if anybody has like one they want to bring up as like a little quick hit, we can do that. The other anime I saw was Secrets of the Silent Witch.
Ooh.
That one
I remember that's the one you were talking about in our previous episode where we did the
I remember talking about that too.
That was one of my picks,
Yeah,
and it indeed has it has 3 episodes, and I watched all 3. I watched 2 of the 3. Actually, I watched all 3 yesterday.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. This is it's a fun little show. It's about a character that is like a super introvert, and she is such an introvert that in this universe, like everybody, like it's called Silent Witch. Everybody has to cast incantations to do their spells. She was so socially awkward. She couldn't speak in front of people. And so she made it so that she could cast spells without speaking. Like that was her answer. She was like, I could figure out this anxiety thing, but fuck that. I'd rather just figure out how to not talk and cast spells anyway.
Hey, it sounds like the Shy Hero has some competition.
Yeah, this is when he said Shy Hero, I was like, this is a lot like that. She's kind of she's incredibly shy, like shy to a point where she at first all she did was live out in the middle of nowhere in a giant hut, basically like a hut in the mountains where nobody would bother her, and like she'd have one person bring her some food and supplies and shit, and other than that, she just was by herself and just didn't want to be bothered. And what happens is because she climbs up the ranks thanks to her power, and she becomes so powerful, she becomes like one of the sages, like one of the strongest people in that universe, like a sage witch or whatever. And they're like, okay, that's cool, but if you got that status, we actually have work for you to do. Like, you can't just have this status and just chill out in the middle of nowhere. Like, nah, you gonna have to do a job. And so, like, one of the other people of her same status comes and is like, hey, we need you to bodyguard the second prince. And she was like, well, why? Like, why me? I don't want to do that. Like, no. It's not an option. You got to go do it. And so she basically agrees and goes to this high school where she's like of age, because of course she was like a genius, and she's of age to fit in there. And she's just going to school there, pretending to be, just a regular student. But it's like a royal school instead of being like an actual magic school, which is the first time she went through. And so she's like trying to fit in, but of course she's getting picked on and all this other stuff because she's not. They had to give her an origin, basically, which is funny because if she used her actual origin, she probably would be like well respected there because of like the level of power that she has. But she's like, no, I don't want that. To give an example of how powerful she is, there's a part in the second episode where she meets a character. She meets this like princess or like this noble, and the noble is like, hey, I'll do anything to help you fit in. And so she pretends to be like Monica, which is the main character. She pretends to be Monica's bully or whatever. But even like in reality, she like worships her because she's like, hey, you saved my village. Like our village was about to get fucked up by these dragons, like by this one giant black dragon that nobody could beat. And then once that dragon was beat, these other dragons came in beside him and was like, hey, we finna tear shit up because you took out the other dragon. And she showed up and was like, no, I got it. I can take care of all of this. And spoke not one word when she did it. She just showed up, cast this insane spell that you about to see on the screen, where it's just like, yep, here we go. I can take out all these dragons at the same time with just like random lightning bolts. Yeah, wow. Like that. Yeah, it's like that. If
she's not the game genie, but what? The game shark. That's what she is. She's the game shark. When you hack the game and you've reached the top level.
Right.
Like she cast Eden from Final Fantasy VIII.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
She got pulled into like the first episode. Like she spends the first episode and a half trying to figure out like, okay, how am I going to get close to the prince to guard him in the first place? But eventually her talent, like she has one other talent, which you would think would help with being a mage anyway. She's really good with math. Like that's the thing that she's like so good at that she actually like comes out of her shell enough to talk. Cause like normally she does not like talking at all. Like she's shot to the point that she just doesn't like to speak to anybody. And when she does speak, it's like a really low tone. She's always stuttering and tripping over her words. And finally, like whenever she talks about numbers, she just like bursts with energy. It's like the most exciting part of seeing her character because it's like, oh, okay, there is someone in there. And you could tell that she, like, they flash back to it. They never really delve into it, but they flash back to it periodically to show that, like, she was clearly abused at one point by, like, a parental figure or, like, a family figure that just, like, fucked up her self-esteem to the point where she just doesn't believe in herself at any point. So you assume at some point it's going to be like, okay, how does she get over that? How does she learn how to step out of her shell and become, like, an actual person that can interact with the rest of society? And so I'm very curious to see where this goes, how long it's going to go. That's going to be the really curious part. Also, if you're one of those types of people, she has a talking cat. So there you go. Like the talking cat is...
My bad.
Say
If
what,
you don't
Keith?
have a magic show with a talking cat, you don't even have a magic show. I'm sorry.
Talking cat is the only person she can interact with where she's just like she interacts normally. That's the only time like she just be hanging out with the cat and the cat will be like, hey, calm down and just start tapping her on the face with his paws like calm down. It's gonna be all right. We all good. Figure it out. Get your life together. So that part's kind of funny. It's a little less action than I was expecting, but I'm fine with like basically a fantasy slice of life. I'm fine with that. So solid show. It's not because of the lack of action. It's my number 2 behind Onmyo Kaiten, but I do really enjoy this show so far. All right, anybody have any like ones that they really want to get in?
I didn't watch all 3 episodes of this, but it's got more than 3 episodes. Lord of Mysteries made a big first impression on me. I think I watched the first 2 episodes. It also has elements of isekai, but really unique setting. The concept of like the Beyonders and like this extra plane they have and connecting to different people. And like you don't know exactly what's going on and like it's being unveiled to you.
Shit, he don't know what's going on.
He don't know what's going on. Like it's really good. And it looks fucking amazing. Like visually, it is.
I was about to say like this already looks really impressive. Which man,
so
that's one thing with the anime now. It feels like so many anime just look so good.
Yeah, it's true. That's kind of part we starting to get spoiled a little bit. That's why like we had this conversation yesterday, Sage, about last night about how like we've gotten so spoiled with like certain good animation that like people just write off shows if the animation isn't like top tier, even if the show is of quality. Like it could be like we talk about like One Punch Man season 2. Its animation is not as good as season 1, but I think the story and narrative is better in season 2. In season 1. So like those are things that like I guess come with the blessing of better quality animation more consistently. What comes with it is people get a little spoiled, and now everything has to be the top of the line
Sakuga.
Demon Slayer. All the time. Where it's the standard, it's like that's not possible, man.
Well, they spent all of it 99.
Yeah, not with this industry. There's no way. That's just not how that's gonna work. I like the meme now. When you see an amazing scene and I have the comment underneath, when you pay the animators appropriately. This is the type of scene you get.
I like that.
Those are the ones like when you actually pay the animators, this is the type of scenes you get.
I watched part of this, the first episode, but it was just like so much lore just being dumped on you. And I had to rewatch the first half of the first episode, and I'm like, all right, I think I kind of understand what's going on. Eventually, just had to go look it up on Reddit, and there was an explainer on Reddit that was just like, okay, this is what's happening in the scenes, and I was like, oh, okay, now I got a grasp of it, and so I'm excited to check out episode 2. How'd you like episode 2?
I liked it too. I just like the fact that it seems like there's a bigger story going on than just like the protagonist. And like, of course, the big mystery in the beginning is like there's this suicide thing that happened with the body he's inhabiting. It was like a Japanese dude, and he's in like this English, I don't know what they are, England, France.
So he's a Chinese guy at first. He casts some kind of like good luck ritual, and the good luck ritual sends him into the body of like a dude in another world in Victorian steampunk England.
Yep.
And but the body of this new dude is like someone that recently killed themselves because they were investigating some kind of mysterious supernatural shit that they should have left the fuck alone.
Yep.
And not only did he die, not only did the other guy that he reincarnated into die, but like his friends died as well. They all killed themselves.
Yeah, they all.
And so now there's like some magical group. I forget the name, the Nighthawks or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. And they want to know like, hey, what the fuck happened? And why are you alive? Your friends are dead. Like, what happened here? So
yeah, there's a lot. That was a lot going on in that first episode. Oh my god. But yeah, I just wanted to. I had to bring up a load of mysteries. I think it's one of the better animes that came out in the last few weeks. Like, it's solid. It left a big impression on me.
Certainly one of the best looking anime of the season by far. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything quick?
Sure. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull my list up. It goes by 2 different titles, but the one I got is called A Bouquet for an Ugly Girl.
Hey, ugly girls need love too.
Yeah. So
this show. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So long story short, as you can see, it's basically about this young girl going into high school, not very popular, pretty kind of shy, you know. She just kind of does her own thing. She's on her lonesome a lot, and you know, people don't necessarily pick at her, but she's also a part of like this school beautification thing. That's what you see her doing here, where she's setting the flowers and she's doing the gardening around the school. She does things like that, but as she's doing it one day, as you see her put that flower on her head, she's doing that in the class, and like one of the like more popular cute guys walks in and he sees her doing that, and then from that point on they kind of like start to slightly develop some form of a relationship as like friends. Like they're just getting along. Like he's like talking to her, like he's making time out of his day to be like, hey, how you doing? What's the day been like? Let's go do this, let's go do that with some of my friends over here, let's do that. And like other people that are like around him are like, why you bringing her along and all this? But he's just being nice to her about it. And and let me get it right. When he finds out that she's been doing the stuff around the school, like making sure the school looks good, putting the flowers in class, doing the gardening, cleaning up and whatnot with the beautification committee and this pink hair girl, I'll get to her in a minute.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you see all of this little stuff happening, and it's just a really funny little show because he's being good to her, but on the outside looking in, people are seeing that it's like, are they dating? Are they getting together? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? And then that pink hair girl you saw, it's funny because these two, the main character Tabata and the pink hair girl that you saw, they have like these opposing different ideologies of each other because Tabata is so introverted. She thinks the worst of the situation when they're having a conversation. So like if they say something, she thinks, oh, is he judging me? Is he saying something bad about me? Does he think this weird thing about me? But the pink hair girl thinks that she's like competition because these two are getting close. Like these two are like being friends. And she's just like, why ain't he looking at me like that? Why ain't he talking to me? What does she have that I don't? Because like one episode, she tried to like kind of outshine her in a way by like, let me take you to this mall. Let me take you to this thing. Let me get you to try on outfits with me so I can kind of show you up. But because of her awkwardness, because of Tabata's awkwardness, she's able to like turn the table back around on her and be like, nah, you're not gonna get me into this little dick measuring contest with you to try to see if you can outdo me to try to get this boy. Like, I'm awkward as all get out. I'm just like going with the motions and you're doing this. It's one of those shows where it's kind of like good guy is really being a good person here, and the quote unquote ugly duckling is like kind of like slowly melding together with each other. They're like slowly getting along. I think it's 3 episodes, if not 4, right now. And so far, I've been enjoying it. It's a pretty cute show so far. I like it. I would recommend it for people who like a little slice of life or something.
Okay. One I had that I'll get out the way real quick. I've only seen the first episode, even though there are 3 episodes out. The one, There's No Way I Can Be Your Lover, where it's like this girl. What's her name? Hold on. Yeah, Renako. She's like this awkward girl going to high school, and she was like really awkward in middle school. And she, like when you go from middle school to high school, sometimes you'll try to like reinvent yourself. You like, all right, this is my last chance. I'm gonna be a different kind of person. And so she goes from being like this really awkward girl to being like, all right, I'm gonna try to be like really personable and talk to a bunch of people. And turns out that's harder than it seems. And so she was like trying to fit in, but wound up like, what? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see what we on? What type of time we on?
That's definitely I see the time.
It's also timing.
So she was like hanging out with these girls, and they was all talking, and she didn't know what to say. And finally, she like says something embarrassing and runs off and runs upstairs. And she's upstairs like trying to collect her thoughts or whatever. And then this other girl, the blonde that you see, what is her name? Mai, the blonde that you see, Mai, she's like, hey, she like comes upstairs, follows her to check on her, and she's like, oh, is she trying to like kill herself or whatever? She's like leaning over the edge of this like building, like is she about to kill herself? Like, no, don't do it. And so she like runs and chases after her. But what winds up happening is like she falls over because she gets shot. Like Rinako falls over because she gets shocked. Mai chases after her and like kind of knocks her like the trajectory off. And Mai says something really fucking stupid that lets you know what type of person she is. She's like, "Oh, it's gonna be all right because I'm really lucky." And you know, she was technically correct because exactly. She was technically correct because instead of them landing on the ground, they like landed in the tree. And so like the tree like right next to the building. And so they just kind of sit there for a little bit and have a conversation. And in that conversation, they just like start talking about what life is like for them in high school. And like Renako's like, "Hey, I'm really awkward, and talking uses up a lot of my magic points. Like it's hard for me to do this shit."
My hit points.
And Mai's like, yeah, she's like a nerd. And so Mai's
okay.
I understand, like, you know, it's hard for me to be the person that I am all the time. I'm struggling with shit like that. And so like Renako basically says, "Hey, you know, you don't have to like try really hard around me. It's okay for you to relax." And just that little bit of like kindness that's shown to Mai, because she's always trying to live up to like this perfect version of herself. Just that little bit of kindness causes Mai to fall in love with Renako. And she's like, "Hey, look, let's get together." And Renako's like, "What? Why would we do that? Why couldn't we just be friends?" And Mai's like, No, I don't want to be friends. I want to date." And
Clearly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to a point, like Mai's the kind of character where if this was a show about like a dude and a chick, it wouldn't fly at all because she's like really pushy and she like really wants to have it her way all the time. And it's like, hey man, I don't know why they letting you slide. And supposedly like the fan base for the manga is like, we don't let her slide. Like she out of pocket a lot of times. But like in the show, they basically come up with a compromise of like on one day they'll be friends, on the other day they'll be like dating. And so they can figure out like which one would be better because like Renako just wants to be friends, Mai wants to date, and so they kind of like merge the two. And so like the first episode is really cute, it's really funny. And I've also looked up the TV tropes for this to see where it goes. And boy, I really hope they keep going with this because it goes places where I was like, huh. Very few shows are willing to do something like this.
It sounds like it's not even like a Yuri bait kind of thing. Like this is just full on Yuri.
It's like an anime situation ship.
No, it eventually becomes a poly situation ship.
Yeah. Okay.
And yes, it is full on Yuri. Like it's not bait at all. Like they just together. So it's very cute. I was enjoying what I was seeing. I do plan on watching the second and third episode since it's already out. So yeah, this is if you like romance shows at all, definitely give this show a shot. It's very pretty, by the way, the animation and the color palette that they're playing with. As you can see in the preview trailer, is excellent. So, man, we are running way over time. So unless somebody has one that they want to like toss out real quick.
I just want to just give Kaiju No some flowers.
Yes, sir.
It's got like technically 2 episodes, but the first one was like just a filler extra episode. It was kind of endearing. It was just basically 2 of the defense force members watching the vice captain. He was acting suspicious. He was delivering some crackers to the head captain, and then he had to drop off some stuff, and they saw him give something to a guy that was in one of the crates. It looked shady. It just found out that he was basically there's this school that had the children. It's like this organization. He sends stuff to them so they can see how like the equipment works, and they got little games and stuff. So it's like kind of cool. They thought he was doing something. Oh, man, the vice captain. He's selling stuff on the black market. But it found out it was a pretty endearing episode. Now the first actual episode, man, I just want to say they introduced a new character. Him right there with the Buster Gunblade.
Yeah, he called.
I like he is. I realized when I saw him, that's one of my favorite character archetypes. The character just like this goofy, don't care, man. I'm none. They open the door. This man playing PS4. He's like, I just made it to platinum. Let's go. I got 5 kills, 4 assists, baby. Let's go. I'm like, you got a PS4? You should get like a PS5 with him. Anyway,
he broke.
Well, it's like how you like the number 1 captain in the first division? You broke. Anyway,
all the gacha games.
Well, technically, actually, it came out before the PS5.
No, he broke because he buying too much stuff because he had all them Gundam models and everything. That's why he broke.
He's,
Hella
so
Gundam
he's just a
models
straight
is
otaku. That's the explanation.
Yeah.
Okay.
They came in his room. Hey, leave my stuff alone. But I just wanted to shout out, man. That first episode was amazing. He also, like I said, he's a type of trope. He's similar to Marshall, similar to Saitama. He's similar to Shunsui from Bleach and Kisuke from Bleach. Like these characters, they're like kind of all off to the side, like, oh, I'm just playing around. But when they get real, it get real.
Like the unassuming character, essentially.
The money, it's like, oh, he just goofy, just playing around. Even like Shikamaru, what a drag. It was a drag until Asuma died. I got time today. So yeah, he even tells like the girl that's like she's like one of the young prodigies. She's like, what do you want out of me? He's like, I'll tell you what I want. He didn't say. Also, a shout out to God. They literally just had Godzilla in this episode.
Yep.
The music and everything, like literally. And he one-shot Godzilla. And when he one-shot Godzilla, he told her, now I showed you what I want. I want utter and what he say? I want unstoppable power. That's what I want from this division. I'm like, whoa.
I want my division to be the coldest division. Everybody gotta be that dude. That's what I want for my division. That sound good to me.
I'm like, yo, this gotta be one of my favorite archetypes of characters. Just like, real honest, so man, I'm just over here chilling, playing the PlayStation until. So yeah, like Kaiju No May starting off strong again. With like I said, it's technically the second episode. If you want to count the first one. But yeah, it was amazing the first season, and I'm another one that I'm like excited for. So yeah, it's starting off strong. Also, one of the funniest, me and Keem were laughing. This guy will be saying something. Oh, they probably want me in a meeting to talk about something I don't even want to listen to. And his second in command just comes and kicks him, and he makes this sound like like he just flies off the screen. It's the most hilarious like trope that because it's got to be a trope because he's done it multiple times, and every time he flies off the same way. I don't want to talk about it. They probably want me in a meeting about some nonsense. His vice captain, who was like, I'm pretty sure voiced by the voice actor Piccolo. He looked like Saga. He's like this 7-foot tall dude. He's real scar on his face. He's like the exact opposite of the captain. He's like, yeah, we got to do this. And the other guy, he's like, I don't want to do that. He kick him. He's like, hey, bro, get together.
It look like Abbas from Trails.
Yeah, he does look like that. Good reference.
Yeah, so this season I think is gonna be fire. And them showing off this first division is already starting off with a bang. So, yep, I had to give shout outs to Kaiju No May, man.
I have not gotten a chance to watch that episode. I did read some of the manga just to get past that point. I was like, hey, what does wind up happening? What character? What type of character is that? Because they introduced him, and man, yeah, you not lying. That's exactly the type of character he was. Just like obsessed with power on the field and a goofball off the field. So I'm excited that that's coming back. Hopefully they finish it. Obviously, since the manga's finished, I mean, like it seems like you could just do 2 more seasons after this. Probably wrap this show up. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, that's gonna wrap this week up. You know what it is. If y'all like what anime are y'all excited about? What anime have y'all gotten into? Let us know in the comments below. If you're new to us and like this episode, I need you to do me a few favors. I need you to hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends about us, and do me a personal favor. Have an excellent week. Peace.